Have you ever successfully stopped a repeat marketing or scam phone call? How did you do it? Submitted by F19 AskReddit. Got a call that there was a virus on my computer. Told them that was impossible as I throw my computer into the river so the cops couldn't get any evidence on me. Haven't heard from them since. Hello. We'd like to offer you a free trip to Las Vegas. Sir, are you aware that you just called the emergency line of a Department of Energy research facility? Quote, we need to keep this line clear. You will add us to your do no call list. If I receive another call from your company, I will report this upstairs. Click. It helps that I'm not lying. I got a call from one of those "you've been selected for a free trip to the Bahamas" scammers. I told her that I couldn't do that right now. Oh no sir. You don't understand, it's free, you just need to. No. I understand that ma'am, it's just, I'm currently under federal investigation and cannot leave the country. I'm terribly sorry sir, I'll remove your number from our list. Have a wonderful day. Click asterisk. Would receive a specific 1 9 times out of 10. Your car warranty is about to expire. Press 1 if you'd like to be connected to a representative. So I would oblige. Wait for someone to come on the line and say, make, model and year of your vehicle, which I usually followed up with 2013 Hasbro ATV or 2017 Little Tikes tricycle, or something of that nature. I must have become a famous caller because they only called maybe 6 times after I started doing that, and they always started with, "Oh look who it is." Eventually, it just stopped. I assume it's because they were tired of wasting their time on someone who was wasting their time. Answer the phone. Connect to an agent. Mute your phone and carry on with what you are doing. They quickly take you off their dialers when you waste their agent's time. I unplugged the landline. It was either that shit or my father-in-law, so win-win. Saying something like, "Hello there. You are speaking with a sales representative from Pleasure.com. What kind of sex toys do you want to order?" Really scream it at them, by the way. It always works for me. Just play dumb and eat up their time. They are playing a numbers game and don't want to spend 30 minutes with some good that gives them nothing. In that 30, they would rather get shot down 20 times and maybe find that old lady they can trick. I get a call from a random pharmaceutical company saying that my supply of Viagra is ready for pick up. I told him that I had a complaint regarding the Viagra. I said that I only took half a pill and now only half of my PP was hard. Now my base is hard but the tip was soft and I was pissed. I kept going on this Viagra rant for about a minute or so and then they hang up. Happened twice and my friends are still laughing. Whenever they intro with, "This is so-and-so" on a recorded line, I always politely say, "I do not consent to being recorded or monitored," or something along those lines. It's always fun how flustered they get and not sure of what to do. They usually hang up and don't call back again. I don't even know if they need my consent to record me, but it seems to work. I asked them for their social security and they hung up on me. Whack. I got a call. Started reeling off this massive script. Finished probably after 2 minutes of solid talking. And I politely sat through the whole thing. I paused and said, "Sorry?" Quote. She said, "Again," and started the whole script again from the start. Another 2 minutes solid talk wall later. I said, "Sorry?" Quote. This time, there was a bit of frustration in her voice. Again, and once again did the whole 2 minutes again. Aggressively this time. Quote, "Sorry?" Quote. "Fuck this," and the call ended. Pass it to 3-year-old. I used to get a lot of unsolicited calls from a company who could sort my debt. I got a call from them one day, when I wasn't doing much at home, so decided to have some fun. I gave a false name, false address, which they couldn't find on their system. I convinced them it was a new build eventually. I then went through my debts meticulously, had them waiting while I found the paperwork, etc. Some of the debts were for my sex change, and then reverting back because I changed my mind. 30 to 40 minutes later and I had over £300,000 debt, and able to pay up to £4,000 per month to clear it with Themisier. The woman on the phone got her boss, because it was such a big contract, and when the boss lady got on the phone, I told her I made it all up. I kid you not. She told me I was wasting their time, and that I shouldn't do that, then hung up on me. Never heard from them again. I tried to troll a guy who was clearly calling people to get their bank account information by saying they were giving away money to help college students. He was from India and was dedicated to his job. I tried to piss him off for about 30 minutes but he kept interrupting me and I eventually told him to fuck off and hung up the phone. He kept cutting me off saying, "But my friend," quote, about once or twice a week, I would get the Microsoft support phone call. For about 3 weeks, I would hang up on Themisier. After about a month of this, I decided to jack with Themisier. I let them give their line about how my computer is sending them error, blah, 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 blah. I kept responding with, "Interesting, okay, fascinating, etc." When they said that they wanted to connect to my computer, I told them that this would be difficult. They asked why. I told them that they called the server room for the Pentagon. I do not think I have ever heard anyone hang up quicker. I screamed for a solid 30 seconds. My friend speaks English, Spanish and Russian. He would just start randomly switching between languages, and each language had a different personality. He would confuse them into total submission. They rarely called back. I had this problem for a month on a landline before I could figure out how to block it. The guy was harassing me and constantly calling me back just so he can access my computer. It got to the point that he would call back right after I hanged up. I finally looked up how to block a number on a landline in the phone book, bought a safety whistle, then blew the whistle in their eardrums before blocking the number. I always answer scam calls and try to get to a person. Then I talk really softly so they turn up their headset. After a while I scream the highest pitched scream I can or play the video on YouTube. High-pitched noise. I always just say, "Bill's orphanage. You make 'em, we take 'em." They usually don't call back after that. Just ask them if they want to buy sex toys or something. Just present yourself as a salesman of another company. Told them that I was a member of their branch a floor above them and that they misdialed. They said, "Fuck you," and hung up. Didn't get a call back from them for a few months. Whenever I was at home and able to do it, I'd answer the phone and then put the phone in a shoebox with a Bluetooth speaker that was blaring hardcore anal Latina porn. The calls stopped after about a week. Answer the phone with Ghostbusters "What I Want," and get increasingly exasperated when they don't have a legitimate paranormal issue. Helps to loudly snack gum as your watch a James Veitch TED Talk. I answer the phone as Detective so-and-so. Then I ask them who they are and why they called the number in a very stern and cop-like manner. Then I ask them where they are and act like I am giving the information to someone else who is contacting Interpol. I ask a few more questions about their relationship to the number and advise anyone who has not already hung up that they are to stay put and wait for Interpol to arrive for interrogations. Stopped calls to my classroom this year. The phone scam that puts you through to someone who says you have been in an accident no longer calls me because I just keep telling them an elephant ran out in front of my car and it was a hit and run, didn't get the plate. Yeah, we had the talk. This is my story. One Sunday morning a few years ago, I was awake with my father and chatting over coffee and such, as we would often do. We got another marketing call we had been periodically getting from Dave's Carpet Cleaners. We would always just ignore it and hang up. On this morning though, as we were chatting, within a period of about 15 minutes, we received the same call from the same source 9 times. This was about 7:45 to 8 a.m. on a Sunday. I think we can all agree that Sundays are not the day for such things. Finally, when the anticipated 9th call came in, at my urging, my father agreed to do something. This call was basically just a recording of Dave introducing himself and his company and services, and telling the person on the other end to press 1 to speak to a representative to set up an appointment. My father went through the motions to speak to a representative, and when he got through to an actual person, as she said something to the effect of, "Hello, are you having a nice day?" Quote, my father snapped back, paraphrasing, "No, I am not. This is the 9th f***ing call we have got from you in the last 15 minutes. On a Sunday for F.S. sake? Let me speak to your supervisor." Quote, he gets the supervisor and says basically the same thing, and tells them that we were looking to have our carpets cleaned. A lie, but would never hire them and tell everyone we knew not to hire them this year. We've never received a call from Dave's Carpet Cleaners ever again. Not me, but I seen a post where, in Japan, Chinese phone scammers are common. All you have to do is text June 4th, 1989 Tiananmen Square in Chinese and they get their internet cut off by the government. Yes, keep them on the phone long and don't buy, they won't call again. Your city name here, fraud department. How can I help you today? Quote, I asked who they worked for. They hung up on me. Guess that ain't in their script. If it's a human on the line, I tell them that the person they're looking for had just died. Block number. Verizon's spam filtering does a pretty good job of blocking most such calls from getting to you in the first place, though. Got a call about a virus on my laptop, and played along with them for a little. Asked them which laptop has the virus. I have multiple. The guy paused for a second and said, the Dell. My response, funny. I don't have a Dell laptop. Guy hung up right away and they never called back. I'm a web developer. Whenever I get a call from one of those Windows virus scams, I ask for their website to, assure myself that they're a legit company and everything. I then run their site through SEO and HTML error scanners. Of course, they always come up with loads of errors and I offer them my services to help fix them easier, for a price, of course. Google Assistant call screening service. I used to just use excessive profanity and be a general scumbag on the phone with them. I used to tell them they were useless fucking cunts, and when they would try to speak I would scream at them to shut the fuck up. No one likes getting spoken to like that. Not even dirty scammers.